The most important thing about all of this is that we not take this list that I've gone through so far and just turn this into a list of rules. Okay. It's super, super important that we not start thinking about this as just boxes to check off every day. Okay, I prayed 15 minutes. I listened to a worship song. I read my Bible. I went to church for fellowship on Sunday. Okay. Because if you do that, if you turn this into just a to-do list, then you are not going to experience the benefits of getting to know Jesus better. This is not going to accomplish sanctification in your life. It will not be getting you closer to Jesus if you turn this into a list of rules. Our reason for doing these things, adding these things to our life regularly, is our desire to know Jesus better. Because all these things are really good things. They're all really good. They're great tools, okay? We want these things in our lives. But these things by themselves cannot replace our relationship with Jesus. They cannot replace our relationship with Jesus. And so it's human nature. Anytime we get a list of things to do, especially if we're naturally rule following people, which is a lot of people are like that. I'm not naturally a rule follower. I confess I am a rebel. I have always been a rebel. It has caused me great problems in my life. All my life, I've been like, if you tell me what to do, you better tell me why. Otherwise, I'm going to do the opposite. That's the way I've always been. And God has had to soften that part of me, and he's had to mold that and shape that into something that he can use. And I have a lot of courage because I'm like that. And so now he's turned it into something very useful, I believe, to him that he can use. But I was very rough as I was growing up. So I'm not a natural rule follower, but a lot of people are. And so for people that think that way, it's very easy for us to take something like this and turn it into just check boxes. Got to get through this, got to get through this. But if you do that, then you are not going to get the benefits of this. And so why do we do this? Why do people take something, a list, or anything that's remotely rule-ish and turn it into a list of rules? Well, there's a very specific reason why we do this. And we do this because it's safer. It's safer because you've got two things in opposition here. You've got following rules and you've got having an actual relationship with Jesus. Okay, and what you're trying to do is get to the relationship with Jesus instead of the following rules. Okay, but these things are in contrast to each other. Okay, and it's easier to just follow a list of rules. Okay, it's all written out for you. It's easy to do. You don't have to think about it. It's safer. There's no guessing. There's no there's no surprises if you were just following a list of rules. But that's not how God works with us. That's not how relationships work, is it? When you're in relationships, is it just following a bunch of rules? No. Relationships are messy because it involves two different people, and you don't know. You can't control that other person. You don't know what they're going to do. Okay. And so it's very, very messy. And we humans, we don't want the messiness, the uncertainty, the surprises of relationship, because deep down, most of us, we want to be in control of our lives. Okay. And so by turning this faith religion thing into a bunch of rules, that gives us control. That allows us to determine the details of all of this and to be in control. We want to be in charge. Okay. And deep down underneath all of that is pridefulness. It's pridefulness that we want to be in control, that we don't want to bow the knee to God and his will. We want to do things our way. And if you just give us these rules, then we can go about the business of following these rules. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to, try to, have this messy relationship thing with God. And this goes all the way back to Adam and Eve. Okay. Because when God created Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, he created them in relationship with himself. He walked in the garden with them. They were in relationship with God. And he took care of them. He was like their father. Okay. And, but all that got ruined when Satan came and told them, you don't need God anymore. You can be God yourself. And that is when that pridefulness came in. They're like, oh yeah, we don't have to let God tell us what to do, and then they ate that fruit. And that's when sin came into the world. And so we all have elements of that within us, this desire to be God's ourselves, to be the God of our own life, to control things, to be in control.